Hello, once again, and welcome back to room 261. This is the fourth and last video of the day for October 12th on 2022. We've been talking about factoring and binomials and trinomials, okay? And so we're on to the last part of our show here. And so we did some of these earlier, 2 videos ago. I'll just do one of them. You can see on your worksheet that there's one that says factoring trinomials where a equals 1. What that means is that the number in front of the squared term on all of these on this particular sheet of paper is equal to 1. So there's no number in front. And so again, I don't know, just if you want to, you could always put a 1 here, right, on all of these. All right, so we did some of these in an earlier video, and so let's just quickly review. We could put a B here and a B here. And since we have a 7 here, we want to think to ourselves, what multiplies to 7 and adds to 8? And those two numbers are, of course, 7 and 1. And since this sign is positive, then both of these have to be positive if all of the signs up here are positive. Okay? And number 3 here, it's m squared plus m minus 90. And so now we would need to think to ourselves, what multiplies to 90 and has a difference of 1? Again, since this is a minus sign, we think about difference. On the last problem, it was a plus sign here, so we thought about sum. And so two numbers that multiply to 90 and have a difference of 1 is 10 and 9. And so you can see that then I would have a plus 10m here if I multiplied it out and a minus 9m there for a grand total of plus 1m. Okay, if we flip this page, you're going to find that some of the ones on the next page are the category where there's not necessarily a 1 right in front. And so in that case, it's possible, right, that some of them are such that you would want to pull out a greatest common factor first. And so let's try that. And so on number 15 here, we have 2n squared plus 6n minus 108. You might notice that all those are even. And so since they're all even, it's going to make our problem easier if we pull out a 2 first. Okay, so we pull out a 2. You might notice if you multiplied this through, you'd have 2n squared plus 6n minus 108. But now, when you go to factor, you keep that 2 out front, and then we factor it just as we have been on the other ones. We think to ourselves, we need two numbers that multiply to 54 and have a difference of 3. Again, difference because of this minus sign. And so those two numbers are, of course, 9 and 6. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 minus 6 is 3. And so then we just have to decide what to do with our sign. Since we want plus 3, right, we want to make sure that the bigger number has the plus sign in it. So we have plus 9 and then minus 6. Okay. All right, let's do another one over here. So here I want to pull out the greatest common factor, which is 5. And so we're here. 5 times n squared plus 2n plus 4. And then we would say to ourselves, okay, can we think of two numbers that multiply to 4 and add to 2? And the truth is that we cannot. And so that is all of the factoring we can do, is just to pull that 5 out. Okay. Again, we could not think of two numbers that multiplied to 4 and added to 2. And so sometimes, things don't necessarily factor, just as is true with numbers. Okay, some numbers are prime and they don't really factor. All right, let's try another one. Okay, how about number 21? If we pulled out a 2 on number 21, I would be here. And then I would say to myself, can I think of two numbers that multiply to 2 and have a difference of 1, difference because of the minus sign? And so, in fact, of course, those numbers are 2 and 1. And we'll put a plus 2 and a minus 1. Please notice that here I have plus 2p and then minus p. And so that would give me a grand total of plus 1p, which is right there. All right, I hope you found this video is helpful. I know that this is a bit of a review, but it is important that you're able to have this skill in order to succeed in our next topic in Algebra 2 class. So, the benefit of the videos, of course, is that you can stop and pause and watch part of it again. So I hope that you do that. If you find a step that you're not quite sure about, maybe listening to it a second time will help. All right. Hope you enjoyed the videos and found them helpful.